Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel. This week has been ever so slightly dull as a Chelsea fan after the hype, the build-up, the humbling that we received last week against West Ham. It is time to get yourselves excited once again because Chelsea face off against Luton. Little old Luton Town, new to the Premier League, in the game tomorrow night at Stamford Bridge. It's a horrifying time for me. 3 o'clock in the morning on a Friday night. You know what that means? We're either going to go out on the lash or I'm going to put myself to bed like a child at 7 in the flipping evening to wake up for you lot to be live for Chelsea Luton here on GBFC. So make sure that you are subscribed to this channel so that you don't miss the stream, the 6 things we learned and everything that comes with it. This is now a must-win game. If Chelsea don't beat Luton, I don't think we're going to survive until the Wimbledon game without having a crisis breakdown. A mental disaster is on the cusp if Chelsea don't win. But I'm going to tell you in this video why Chelsea will beat Luton tomorrow, and we can all breathe a sigh of relief as Pochettino gets his first win as the manager of Chelsea Football Club. Before we talk about the game a little bit more, I want to say a big thank you to today's sponsors, Paramatch UK. Football is now well and truly back underway in the Premier League and across the UK, and our friends at Paramatch UK are offering £40 in free bets. That's right, over at Paramatch UK, all you got to do is open a new account. This is for new customers only. Place a £10 bet on any footballing market with odds of even or above within the first 7 days of you joining Paramatch Online, and you guys will get yourselves £40 of free bets. Full terms and conditions apply, of course, with all the links that you need to get started in the description down below. Thank you very much to Paramatch again. Let's get back into the video. And we're back. Chelsea need a response. We need a dramatic response, not only in the points that we accrue from this game, but the continuity of what we saw against Liverpool for the last 60 minutes and what we saw against West Ham for the first half. Chelsea need to keep going with the momentum that we're building when we're going forward. Last week against West Ham, to bring it up again, but I kind of have to before we start building the team. And I've got 2 variants of my potential 11 for you guys today. What we did last week against West Ham is revert back to type. We reverted back to what has been, we've become so accustomed to watching at Chelsea. Disorganisation at the back, which allows us to concede few chances, but when they get a chance, they score the opposition. It requires other teams, opposition teams, to outperform their XG. But when Chelsea go forward, we're keeping the possession. The statistics, possession-wise, are really good. Chelsea's teams under Pochettino, they're keeping the ball a lot more than under Graham Potter, Frank Lampard, even Thomas Tuchel. That's great. But when it's going side to side, when you're crossing the ball in the box and you're against defenders like Zuma, Ogbonna, Souček, big West Ham players, you're basically setting us up for failure. So what Chelsea need to do here against Luton is come out of the blocks fast. We need to start this game against Luton the way that we've grown into games halfway through the first half of the 2 matches we've seen so far. Chelsea in pre-season, we'd start really quickly. Teams were looking at it thinking, but I thought it was a friendly. I thought it was pre-season. Yeah, but this is Pochettino's Chelsea you're playing against here. We're intense. We attack together. We're bombing players forward that are playing in left back, right back, and we're getting them in the left and right forward position. We're attacking narrow. We're drawing defenders out. Chelsea have a player that we're going to talk about today that I've got a funny feeling is going to arrive as a Chelsea player, having been here for a year and not really started to cook yet the way that he can. Raheem Sterling. I think he is such a key player right now with the way that his stats are looking at the moment, even the naked eye test, the way that he was driving at the West Ham defence last week, taking 4 or 5 players out of the game with a 2-second spell of running, was absolutely sensational. It was Lionel Messi-esque at times. The end product, it's Raheem Sterling. But we're going to talk about that when we build the team today. And I'm going to begin by building what I think Pochettino would like to see his Chelsea team image look like. And I think that is a 4-2-3-1. The only issue with the 4-2-3-1 at this point is we don't seem to have a number 10 who can outright do that role, and you know that you're going to get significant output from it. But we begin with Sanchez in goal, Gusto, Silva, Colwill, Chilwell. That is my Chelsea back four. I think that's the strongest we've got right now. Axel Disasi didn't really shine his name in lights. That's the phrase I was looking for. In the game against West Ham, big error for the goal that West Ham scored to make it 2-1. The game disappears. So I think Chelsea here will go with what we know. Thiago Silva wasn't good either last week, just to void him of criticism. He wasn't great, wasn't his best game. Levi Colwill, you've also now got Badia Shield back training with the ball. He's not going to be ready for this game tomorrow, but I think Chelsea revert to Silva and Colwill if we're playing a back four system. Ben Chilwell was very surprised that he got took off after an hour in the game the other day. I don't think it was necessarily Pochettino was unhappy with him, so I don't think there's a concern that Cucurella gets game time tomorrow, maybe even Maatsen, or it's not really a concern, but Chilwell keeps his place. He's currently the Chelsea captain, and he's got a big role to play getting forward again. And we've got to pepper this Luton defence tomorrow. We have got to remind them that they're playing in the Premier League. When you look at that Luton team, there really isn't anybody in there that you think's going to hurt you. They're well organised, but Brighton dismantled them, and they didn't even have a stadium to play in last week. So Luton are there for the taking for Chelsea. Malo Gusto at right back. It was a bit of an average display. He's not Reece James in terms of the quality that he's got, but he could be. And I think we've just got to be a bit patient with Gusto. Remember, he's 19 years old, this kid. And so we move into a midfield pivot. And Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. This is what we thought that we were going to get when we brought Caicedo and Enzo in. This is the midfield of dreams. We didn't see it last weekend, but as much as I've talked a lot about that Caicedo debut, saying it wasn't very good, we didn't expect that, I think Caicedo now, having had a week solely focused on training, tactics, the first week was so much news at the beginning of last week about him being the most expensive midfielder. Everyone's had their opinions. Everyone's ready for it to fail. Now that Caicedo going to have a full week at Chelsea, full week training, full week taking on tactical nuance from Pochettino himself, this is what I think Chelsea's midfield looks like for the future. Enzo, Caicedo, Enzo able to get forward. And when you see who I've put in the number 10 position for this game, a lot of you are going to be like, no, it shouldn't be that. We should have Lavia next to Caicedo, Enzo in the number 10 role. Absolutely. And that is why I have given you guys another option today. We have also got a 4-3-3, but we move into the Chelsea attack here for the 4-2-3-1. Noni Madueke, who I thought was the best of the substitutes last week. Conor Gallagher in the number 10. Hear me out. Raheem Sterling on the left and Nicholas Jackson up front. I think with Madueke, you've got that explosiveness. With Sterling, we've seen him play so many times on the left. Yes, he prefers to be on the right, but I think with this Chelsea attack here, the way that Jackson likes to link in with these players, you see Gallagher in that number 10 position. I fully expect Enzo to get forward. Gallagher's got the engine to be able to get back and protect Caicedo if Chelsea are being done on the counter. You can fully expect this game against Luton to be similar to a lot of what we saw against West Ham, but hopefully with more intricacy from Chelsea to break through. Chelsea will dominate the ball. Chelsea will have the ball in Luton's half more often than Luton will have the ball in ours. It's not going to be an open, expansive game of football. Chelsea are going to have to be clinical. We are going to make chances, we're going to have to work the ball into the box, and we're going to have to finish. Now with Conor Gallagher, he does know how to score. We've seen him score for us a few goals last season, pre-season too. And I think at the moment, Romeo Lavia hasn't been training this week, which is a bit odd, or he wasn't training yesterday alongside Mykhailo Mudryk, who you can see I've taken out on my team here. Don't know what's happening with Mudryk. Nothing seemed to happen in terms of an injury in the last game. I'm hoping that his confidence isn't so shot that it's just like he didn't want to play. Maybe, I don't know. Like I'm just pulling the rabbit out the hat here. I hope there's nothing serious. But I don't think Mudryk should start regardless because at this point he's not ready. He's really not ready. There is the argument that, but how can he be ready if he's not starting games? He's not getting the chances, the opportunities. All he needs is a goal. I do believe that. But I just think in a game like this, Chelsea do need to win this match. We need to beat Luton because 1 point from 2, it puts us out of top 4 contention, puts us out of the title race. You can't drop points in the Premier League anymore because City will get so many. So if we want to be involved in some conversation this season, a win is necessary. It's 100%. And I think Sterling is going to show up for Chelsea. I think Sterling arrives as the player that we thought he could be when he got here. And I think it happens in this game. Let's take a little look now, though, at 4-3-3. I'm going to move over here so that I can put this beautiful graphic here. Sanchez, Gusto, Silva, Colwell, Chilwell, everything's the same. Andre Santos is in this midfield three with Caicedo playing just in front, Santos and Enzo as a left and right-sided 8, Sterling on the left, Madueke on the right with Jackson up top. Let me know what you think about this here. Andre Santos, I don't really know what's happened. He wasn't in the squad last week to play against West Ham. We haven't heard any news about Chelsea actively trying to pursue to find a loan club for him for the season. So with that being said, when we look at the fact that Lavia's not been training yesterday, probably isn't going to be ready to start, didn't have a pre-season properly with Southampton because there was so much noise about his move, didn't play in the game against Norwich in the Championship game 2 that finished 4-4, by the way. So I think this is an opportunity here against arguably the weakest team in the Premier League. I don't want to disrespect them, but I think we can all agree on paper with what we've got to work with so far, Luton aren't the best side. They gave Brighton some problems. They probably should have had 2 or 3 goals, but they conceded so many chances. And I think when you look here, we have seen how competent Santos is defensively. He's able to make the tackles positionally. His awareness is good. There's something about having a Brazilian, Ecuadorian, Argentinian all in the midfield that just does get me very excited with this Chelsea team that we see here. Noni, I think, definitely deserves to start. When Pochettino looks at the struggles that Chelsea had, Noni Madueke wasn't one of them when you come off that pitch against West Ham. So when I look at this team here, this could be the opportunity for Santos to prove that he belongs in the Chelsea squad this season. The longer the talks and the rumours go on that Conor Gallagher may still be sold this summer for Chelsea, I think Santos, if he's going to stay, he should stay for cover if we're selling Gallagher because he's so young, Pochettino can try and mould him into maybe a more attacking, progressive player that we've seen him do for Brazil in the youth teams for the country in Brazil. So I think this could be Andre Santos' time to shine. It could be a start tomorrow against Luton. Or maybe we just have a midfield three of Gallagher, Caicedo, Enzo, but Gallagher wasn't that impressive against West Ham last week. So maybe Pochettino will try his hand here in a 4-3-3 and give Santos a game. My prediction, Chelsea, I want to say I've been umming and ahhing about this one all week because I'm trying to err with a bit of caution now after the humbling we received against West Ham. I'm going to say 2-0 Chelsea. I think we're going to pepper them. I think defensively we'll be a bit more solid playing in a back four. And I think the goal scorers are Raheem Sterling and Nicholas Jackson. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Luton, I'm a bit concerned because I feel as though if we don't win this game, we are in trouble early in the season. But I think we will win. I think this is a good fixture for Chelsea to have. We should have far too much quality. But then again, could easily be 1-0 to Luton. Who knows with this Chelsea team? Let me know your starting 11s in the comments down below. Let me know your score predictions in the comments down below. And a big thank you once again to Paramount UK for sponsoring this video today. Check out Shootout as well. Brand new channel with Eunice in the description below. Premier League predictions is out now. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the stream. Come on, you Blues.